Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Khaki.
And we are sisters, business partners, and no surprise, best friends.
This is our podcast, Two Sisters in Business. We'll let you decide who's older.
We hope you'll join us while we talk about what it's like to work with your sister, be a mom, and run a family business.
So listen to us in the pickup line at school or while you're having your morning coffee.
We want you to be inspired to start that side hustle, escape the stresses of your day, and most importantly, laugh along the way.
Find us at Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.
And in case you're wondering, I'm the oldest. This is Two Sisters in Business. Let's dive in. We're on. Welcome to Two Sisters in Business.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Hi, everyone.
Whatever time it might be for you as you're tuning in, not chiming in,
chiming in,
tuning in to listen to our podcast. I listened to our episode that we just had, and we got deep at one point.
On
I don't know
success.
if you listened to it. Yeah.
I haven't listened to it. I started to this morning.
Yeah.
But I didn't get very far.
Yeah.
Because I was just away. We just got back from our little ski trip.
And I feel
I'm like back in the real world now.
I know. And we haven't really even caught up. Did you have
No.
Did you guys have fun?
We haven't caught up at all. It was fun.
Did you wear Dudley Stephens?
I wore it the entire time, and I saw a lot of Dudley.
Oh, you did?
There, yes.
Oh, cute. Okay.
It's such a good ski layer.
It really is.
I mean, I saw a lot of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the kids had fun and everything?
Yeah. We are not like a huge ski family, but I feel like this trip really clicked with everyone.
That's great. Yeah.
They were really into it and skied all day, every day. Didn't want to come off the mountain.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. Excuse me.
And you had better conditions than last year.
Yeah, the weather
last year was
like perfect for skiing. So
yeah, like
that
not
helps.
too cold. Yeah, and there's lots of snow up there.
Yeah, and we met up with friends, so they were skiing with friends, and I don't know.
Great.
It was really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and hence why we came back. We just got back late last night, and I didn't want to get out of my cozy Sherpa.
Yeah,
so I'm still in my Celeste Sherpa, and Lauren is in her spring.
I decided to wear what's dropping today when this episode goes up, which is our Surfside tee in crystal blue. And it has these cute little pineapple gold buttons.
So cute.
As a little update to our Surfside tee in waffle. And I
had every intention of wearing something spring-like, but then I had to get dressed really quickly this morning. And I was like, you know what? The Sherpa.
This is easy. Yeah.
Yep. And I was also in that mode too.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And it's still cold out. Like it's not warm enough to wear this. Well, I mean, with something over it, maybe,
with
but
a layer.
I just walked out with a jacket and
though.
felt cold. But
I love that color.
I know, me too. I don't think the camera does justice for how pretty this blue color is.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter.
It's brighter in person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really nice.
And we have that in the Palisade pants.
Yeah, so it can be a little set, which I think I'm going to wear on the plane for traveling.
Good idea.
With like a jean jacket.
Yeah. My friend is obsessed with all waffle.
Oh.
And so she was like, when are they dropping? She kept asking me. I'm like, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Log on.
Tuesday. And there's more waffle after that too.
Yeah.
Like we have our Putnam pullovers, Sabrina's. The Sabrina in white waffle with the puff sleeve is so cute.
Oh, yeah.
I wore that sample this past weekend. So
it's starting to warm up. We're supposed to have another snowstorm, but I saw a high of 40s.
Yeah.
And longer days, so spring is coming.
And even this morning at 6:30, it felt lighter out, which was so nice because it's so dark in the mornings.
Yeah.
So it was nice to feel like it was a little lighter. The sun was coming out a little earlier too. So today we have our second Jet Setters collection dropping, waffle, and French terry sets, and it's basically all of these styles that are perfect for lounging or dressing up like I did today with jeans and for travel, spring break travel.
Jet setting.
All those jet setters out there. Or if you're not a jet setter, just to wear at home for lounging around.
Yeah.
And then after that, more summer waffle and lots more to come.
Well, what I love about that shirt, and I know we've talked about this a lot, that top, it's like a perfect t-shirt.
Yeah.
But it's a heavier material, so it lasts longer than your standard white t-shirt.
Yeah.
And that color is so good to wear with white jeans. We say that all the time.
I know, but it really is.
How pretty is that?
I know. Just for like a casual dinner out in the summer with white jeans.
In the spring. Yeah.
And it's like, it just washes so well. I don't know. I think that's so durable.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway.
Exciting.
So Shop Our Jet Setters dropped today. And And what was so fun too about our last episode when you pulled the bestsellers. And I wanted to see, so the bestseller from our Terry turtleneck drop was definitely, I think, that jelly bean green Park Slope
yeah.
with the navy tipping.
Yes.
So that one I think will be sold out soon if you were eyeing it.
The green is,
It's
it's
great.
hot.
Yeah, I know. And now, what's funny is that we're actually I'm working on like a presentation / mood board for spring 2027. And so the timing always lines up like this, where we've started to drop some spring stuff. And so you start thinking about what we're going to want a year from now and like what did well and what to bring back and all that. And I do have on some more dresses there.
Oh boy.
Which is going to be controversial because we eased up on dresses this year. They're expensive to make. We're not known for our dresses.
Right.
So
High
it's
return rate.
high return rate, like Khaki has mentioned. So it's always an internal debate on this year we felt like let's ease off of them a little bit and focus on summer waffle French terry styles. But next summer, I think we should do both. And I'm going to hopefully come up with some design ideas that will convince you and Jess and everybody that we should make them.
I mean, I love the dresses that we've made in the past because
Me too.
they go from, you can wear them all day.
Yeah.
And you can also wear them at the pool,
I
which I
know.
love wearing dresses at the pool that you can just throw on easily.
Yeah, exactly.
And they can get wet.
Yep.
And you can wear them at home, like throw them on, wear them home, wear them out to lunch. I don't know. They're just easy.
So I think that's like what, like with these dresses and we're really all about our fabrics as a company and a brand. And I don't know if we talk about that enough.
Right.
Like is it a fabric that can be thrown in the machine, in the washing machine, easily dried and worn every day. And that's really what defines our brand.
Right. Something that lasts.
Yeah. And that
can serve
do
multiple purposes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Although I am going to make a push for the jumpsuit, which is more dressy and isn't really an everyday style.
You love
but
that.
I absolutely love it. I have both samples that we've made, the navy and that like coral print that we did.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it this year because maybe we should just make them and charge more because they're expensive.
The capsule.
Yeah, capsule.
Capsule collection.
The margins are just tough on those. So it's tough. I don't know.
Well, sometimes you have to do stuff like that for like a little bit of a marketing expense.
Exactly. Right. I know. Exactly. So we'll see how it comes together for next year. But I'm really hopeful that, because I feel like this year I am missing that in my wardrobe, like a new Dudley.
Like something
reprieve.
fun to wear.
Yes.
Like at night or, like to a fun event.
Yeah. And I'm going to take that coral printed jumpsuit down to my spring break trip and wear it. So that tells me
you're going to post it and then people are going to be like, I want this.
That is how I will convince you the margins don't matter.
Exactly. You're going to do a poll.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so on that note of margins, we thought it would be really fun today and maybe as like a little mini series of our podcast, we'll see how we feel about today, to do a deep dive on a brand and like the trajectory and lifespan of a brand, kind of like an autopsy. Well, not an autopsy because I want to, well, maybe if the brands are out of
study.
business.
How about that?
Yeah, thank you. Case study. That's way
It's a better word.
Not an autopsy, a case study. And kind of sprinkle in where stuff about Dudley Stephens and what we've done differently or the same and what we think about how that brand.
Yeah. I mean, I think through our growth and as, we looked at a lot of brands and learned a lot from them and also what things that we did differently based on their mistakes or things that we did based on their successes.
Yes.
Right. That's how you learn as a brand, especially as entrepreneurs. You learn from other people.
Yep.
Not only in the business world, but in life too.
So true. And that's a really good point because I know like if you go to business school, which we did not, and I constantly think that would have been very helpful in our journey as entrepreneurs. But I feel like in business school, you do a lot of that. You read a lot of case studies on brands. And so here we go to talk about a brand and kind of dissect it and speak about what we think about it. And I'm going to apologize in advance if we get anything wrong too. Like
Oh yeah,
we're just
we
gonna,
will get things wrong.
We definitely will, but we're just going to speak from like what we know, what we've observed, like Kaki said, in terms of researching other brands and whatnot. I have to say that like in our trajectory, there have been periods of times where I become obsessed with brands and where they are and what they're selling and how they're doing it. And, I was actually listening to Sarah and Aaron Foster's podcast at some point a while ago. And I think it was Sarah Foster who, like, she had just broken up with her partner. I don't know if they're married. And she said that when she was going through this difficult lifetime, that she was obsessed with reading about other couples and like other people that have failed.
Right.
Because it like makes you feel like you're not alone.
Like reassures you in a way, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think that also applies to when you're succeeding. Like you want to read other stories of things that other people are going through to see if you can pick up any information. And so I think that we've done that. Like there have been times when I like cannot stop researching a brand and learning about it and listening to podcasts and Googling it. And I've done that with the brand that we're going to talk about today.
I know. And when we first started, we used to listen to that podcast, How I Built This, nonstop.
Guy Raz. Yeah. Which we were featured on his podcast.
That was like, you were.
Yeah.
You were on it.
Well, they only needed one person, so I went on it and well, what was interesting about that is that it wasn't actually an interview with Guy. I interviewed with a producer, and then they spliced in his questions.
It's so funny.
So then
he's a busy guy.
He's very busy, and like listening to him interview me, but not having had the interview was very funny. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool," but I didn't actually talk to him. But that was really surreal, and the way we were able to get that was because they were doing a feature on Amex Platinum, I think, business account holders. And so we applied and they picked our brand to be featured, which is a great way to get on something you want to do, like look at for those sorts of opportunities.
Definitely.
Anyway, so we listened to a lot of Guy Raz and he did interview Ty Haney. So Outdoor Voices is the brand that we're going to deep dive on. Surprise. And she was on his podcast. And I remember thinking, because it was How I Built This, and this is, I don't know if this is the nicest thing to say, but I remember thinking, but she hasn't built it yet.
Yeah, she's still like a growing brand.
Yes, and I felt that way because I still feel this way. Like when you raise a bunch of money, it doesn't mean you've succeeded.
Right.
And I think we've said that a million times, and I will be a broken record on saying that. Anyway, so we can discuss all things Ty Haney and Outdoor Voices. We launched around the same time as them too.
Yes.
And what I want to mention too before we discuss, I think that in this retail world, Ralph Lauren has set this standard. And I think so many people look to him to create what he's built, you know what like, and to try to mirror that. And I think that a lot of these founders and entrepreneurs, I mean, I could be wrong, but like he is kind of the ultimate on like what he's built. But that didn't happen overnight. I mean, he's been doing this since
for years,
the 70s. Yeah.
Right.
So, and he's still involved, like he's still at the company. He still walks out at the end of the fashion shows and he's 86 years old.
Right.
So anyway, just keep that in mind as we're discussing the whole brand.
Yeah. So Outdoor Voices started in 2013. So that's 2 years before we started.
Yeah, right.
And she had this idea based on a fabric, like we did, to make leggings because she found this fabric that she loved. So she started this company early on. And what I initially loved about this company as well is she created a lifestyle too.
Yes.
Where it wasn't like your hardcore runners.
Yep.
It was like people that liked to run.
Yes.
Or like people that were just like you and I that, wanted to move.
Yeah.
And what was their tagline again?
Doing things.
Doing things.
Yeah.
It was like, just get up off the couch and go do something.
Yes. Yeah, like you don't have to be intense about it. Just go for a walk.
Right.
Or
And she would do like these like walks and runs and like she had like this whole like community.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
like,
she would like meet up with people and go on a run.
Right. And I loved that part of the brand. Like I thought it was so cool that she had all this like community events and like this whole grassroots lifestyle involvement, like
yes.
Whatever you want to call it behind it, like
Yep.
movement behind it.
There was a movement.
Yeah.
I think I heard about the brand. I think you found it first. I'm pretty sure.
We have like mutual friends, I don't know, in common of some sort.
Oh my gosh.
Very kind of far.
Right, very far, but you
far,
definitely
yes.
heard about it first.
Mhm.
And I remember we both ordered leggings like very early on because of how you had heard of it.
Yeah.
And what you're saying, like the community that she built, or before that was even like a term. I mean, it was probably a term, but like she was kind of a pioneer of that whole concept.
Yeah.
Of like drawing people in with this new lifestyle way of thinking about moving.
Yeah. And she built it on Instagram,
Yeah.
just like we did. So there were a lot of similarities from our brand to her brand.
Yep.
The fabrics.
Yes.
The community.
Yep.
Growing on Instagram.
Yep.
So we looked to Outdoor Voices quite a bit.
We did.
When we first started.
And branding, she killed it.
Loved the branding.
What a great name. Clean millennial branding, to go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah.
That really appealed to people, I think. And she really stood for something. And it was, I mean, you know, I don't even know if she graduated college. Maybe she did, or did she drop out?
I think she did, but she was super young.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that, but she was very young. She was like freshly out of college,
like
I want to say.
The fact that she understood brand marketing in that way with very little experience is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's really impressive. And like, she gets it.
Yes.
I like, think about when we were 24, 25, like, no.
No, we were like running around in the city, like going to bars.
Yeah. Literally not thinking about starting a company or understanding what a brand is, like not even close. So she's very intelligent with all of this. And I think that that's why people caught on and just loved her. Like, she really was so revolutionary with this.
Yeah.
And I think J. Crew picked her up. That was like one of her breakout moments, was getting on J. Crew. Because, you know, J. Crew has those like brands that we love sections.
That's
or
right.
whatever.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, which we've tried to get on and have not.
J. Crew, if you're out there.
Yeah, if you're out there. But then again, that's like something that she did that, like, you know, here we are launching a few years later, but around the same time. And we tried and didn't. So, yeah, I don't know. She really, and I also think too, like, our name has to do with our family, which we decided early on. And we're just such a family brand still, you know, and I wonder, like, it's the name, like, that was like how we labeled ourselves and the brand. It was like, we're going to name it after our family.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like
family is really tied to our brand.
So much.
So much.
Yeah. Which, like, Ralph Lauren too. I mean, that's his name, you know, I think, well, not his real name, but it's his name.
Yeah.
But she literally created from nothing this brand that, you know, became pretty much like a household brand amongst certain demographics and women and men. Well, do they have men's? Maybe they do now, but not then.
They came out with them eventually. I think it wasn't right away.
And you know what's funny is that with Claudio, our producer, we were just discussing, because we were talking about the subject of today, and I wasn't planning on talking about the quality, because I really only had a few pairs of leggings from them. I don't know if I ever ordered anything else. But the first pair of leggings I got from them weren't that great. I don't know if you felt that way.
They didn't have like as much stretch
as
the regular light leggings.
Right.
I will say I still have those two pairs of leggings in my drawer.
I would love to look at
and
those.
I still wear them every now and then.
Wow. Okay, so there you go.
So the quality is good.
So maybe it was good that it was tighter, because I like when leggings do like suck you in.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Right.
But I just remember them feeling different. And they were like color blocked, so it was like you know, but it wasn't like they didn't last. Not that in terms of quality, but like just a different feel.
Different feel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree. I didn't love the feel, but the quality was good.
Was good. And it was that more like knit fabric, not like the more nylon, like athletic fabric, which was nice. And I loved the colors, the neutral colors.
Yeah.
So, and then now I still have a pair of Outdoor Voices from later on, and I love them. Like they kept iterating.
They added more stretchiness later on, didn't they?
Yeah.
I feel like
more
they changed a little
options.
bit.
Yeah. Anyway, so launching in 2013, and in those years from 2013 through, 2017, 18, and that when we launched in 2015, I think that there were women such as Ty and ourselves and so many other brands that started around that time
Mm-hmm.
where we saw an opportunity on social media.
Yes.
And I think I had 1,000 followers when we launched. And it was it was probably mainly friends and friends of friends. And I don't even know. It wasn't like I was an influencer or anything. And I remember thinking, well, if we launch this company and we post on my account with 1,000 followers, if we even get 10 people to purchase something, like that's a good start,
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people saw that opportunity and saw how many people you can reach just for free too. And then there was this boom with brands and influencers around that time, and they grew very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of the quotes I saw was like a darling of the millennial market and direct to consumer. And I think so through 2018, the stat that we pulled up, they were valued at roughly 110 to 118 million dollars.
That's insane.
So within 5 years, she's built this company that's valued over $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say for us, and this is pure speculation, because now versus then, we're almost 10 years later than that now. So crazy.
Right.
Like 2018, 2019. Valuations the way people value companies
is different. Yes.
so much different.
Very much so.
I think now people are looking more for profitability over revenue,
Mm-hmm.
and how efficient is your business. Whereas back then, no one cared about profitability.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about your revenue and like how much potential you had.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though they were valued at over 100 million, they might have just been 20 million in sales or even 10
Right.
million in sales. But at the time, valuations
They
were,
saw exponential growth.
yes. And that it could continue on that trajectory.
Right.
And so the valuation would be 10 times what the revenue is, meaning 100 million.
Yeah.
So as a company, and I don't want to share our revenue figures because it's not what this is about, but we weren't far behind. My speculation is that we weren't far behind where they were. We just
Right.
weren't a splashy fundraising brand
Right. Yeah. She was out there
pushing
raising money.
money.
Yeah.
And so this is where there's the fork in the road.
Exactly.
In 2017 and 2018.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of meetings and phone calls and networking with not potential investors, but people that understood that market.
Mm-hmm.
And our company on paper was so intriguing. And I'll never forget one of the gentlemen that we met with was like, wow, if you can present this, it was in our office. I'm sure you'll remember.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And on paper, we were killing it.
Right.
Still killing it. But we were then. And so here we were. And I was closely following what Outdoor Voices was doing and all that. And the splashiness and the press and all those things. And you and I decided to go in one way and they went
the other way.
in another.
Right.
And I don't know how you feel, but I actually had my college friend, Anne Marie,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a business coach.
Yes.
And she
That's
and
right.
I did a test run yesterday. I was her client
Oh,
for an hour.
that's fun.
And she's also a therapist, but she's focusing on solely coaching. So it's her way of training herself out of that therapy talk more to business coaching.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that came up is this, and I hate to use the word shame, but almost doubt or something that I've had since then that we
So,
never
regret or
No, just I don't know, feeling oh, we never did that, so we're never going to be as good as them.
right.
Kind of,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the resources and we don't have that splashy fundraising number.
Mm-hmm.
I think that always is in the back of my head.
Got it. Okay.
So she raised, I think, about 55 to 60 million during these years.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Which also affects the valuation of the company.
Totally. And your ownership.
Right.
You're selling your soul.
Right.
Yeah. So during that time, you and I were focused on operations, and you launched our loyalty program, which I don't even know if they ever had one. Here I am just touting what we do.
Pat ourselves on the back
But
for
we
a little
will,
bit.
like,
Yeah.
I will tell both sides, right?
Yeah.
Like what we did differently and wrong, or whatever you want, however you want to classify it. But we were focusing on production, margins, operations, customer service plugins,
Right.
which you did all of that. Our team, building out the right employees.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that we were doing all this perfectly, but that's what we were focused on day in and day out, and design and product development.
Right.
But can you imagine what her day to day was like then? Like hitting the ground running and raising money.
Yeah.
And that's a job in itself.
Right. But she also had to have someone else doing all the things that we were doing.
Yes. So she had to raise money to pay them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And where I am so fascinated by all of this is the venture capitalist money and dynamic, and what Outdoor Voices did with that money. And what she did, I mean, opened stores, expanded product. Like, I think at one point, or maybe they still do, have fleece pullovers too. I remember when they launched their fleece pullover, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I think we ordered it too.
We ordered it. Yeah. And also going back to the quality, I think we didn't love the quality of the fleece.
We did not.
So I think this is where the VC money comes into play as well. You get all this money and it makes you do things. Makes you do things that maybe don't keep you true to yourself. Like,
Totally. Yeah.
You get kind of, I don't want to say greedy, but you get like maybe excited and you're like, oh, we have all this money now. Let's go open stores. Let's expand our product line. Let's do all these things.
Yeah.
But like, you don't think about your North Star and like your scrappiness and how you started and how you grew the company to start with.
Yes. You can lose sight of all that really quickly. And then you also have so many cooks in the kitchen. Like, then she brings, you raise that money, and you have to have a board of advisors.
Right. That did things differently at other companies.
Like Mickey Drexler, who was top of the Google searching when we were researching this, who I am also fascinated by and look up to a ton. And
he's obviously been successful in his own right.
Yes. Right. Building Gap, Old Navy, ultimately building J. Crew. Now he's working on their own family line with his son, Alex Mill. Yeah, and he's just like an industry veteran and just knows so much, but also probably more old school thinking than Ty and what she built.
Yeah. Not a millennial brand.
No. And I can't imagine, like, in our situation, having like an old school mentality come in with us too, because I do think we do things like a little differently also.
Right.
Some may be the same. But I think that, okay, so then once she raised all the money, I mean, there were stores opening everywhere. Remember we went to Boston and there was one in the
there's
Seaport?
one in the Seaport. Yeah.
And as we know, well, we've never opened a store, but we've researched it, and we've crunched the numbers. I mean, opening a store, especially with like such a strict brand code, requires so much capital. And that's what they were putting the money towards: opening stores and advertising.
Yeah. Well, I remember very early on when we started looking into stores, one of the biggest things that we were nervous about is that once our product goes to the stores, you kind of lose the management of your product. Like, it's in someone else's hands. And wholesale too. Like, you don't know how they're hanging it. You don't know how they're displaying it, merchandising it. I mean, maybe this is more for wholesale, but even at your own retail, like you have to be on your management constantly to make sure that they are on brand.
Yeah.
And making, displaying your product correctly and treating your customers correctly too.
Yeah. So you need all these large retailers like Ralph Lauren and, all the other large brands, like they have area reps that like represent the Northeast, and they go to stores all the time. Like that's all they do to do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
train them. And
when you're starting this from scratch, like you have to build those teams out overnight.
Yeah.
So that you can pay your investors back.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're just selling fleece turtlenecks.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're a tech company,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
where we've like invented some technology that's just going to like take off. We're just trying to sell leggings like they are.
Yeah.
And that's what, as I was watching all of this simultaneously while we were going through what we were going through, like, that's where my head always goes is like, we're just trying to sell clothing. You know, we're not trying to like return this huge investment. And, you know, Ralph Lauren didn't do it that way back in the day. Like, I think he probably had debt and he had wholesale. He had wholesalers paying for things and fronting him money to make product and stuff. So things were just built differently. And I don't think that, I think this overnight with venture capital money thing it does a disservice to the industry.
Yeah.
For longevity. So anyway, around this time, you know, they brought on a board of advisors. Stores were opening everywhere. And this is where I wanted to quickly discuss unit economics, which we don't have to deep dive in. But unit economics, if you're an entrepreneur or just interested in this stuff, the nerdy numbers stuff, are so important on paper for a retail company and really any company. And those are calculations that tell you if your margins are good, if your marketing is being effective. And there's one thing called customer acquisition or CAC, CAC, that is how you acquire customers. And it's calculated by a number of numbers. But it tells you if your marketing spend is efficient.
Yes.
And when all of these venture capital, when everyone was raising money and people were just throwing money at companies, those numbers are what told the venture capitalists if the company was a good investment. And if you could prove that, hey, if I put $100,000 into Facebook marketing this year or in the next month, I'm going to acquire X amount of customers. So that's one number to look at. And with social media advertising back then, it was so inexpensive. So like $100,000 as just a random number could get a lot of customers. And you could really efficiently reach new people. But then the next number you have to look at is lifetime value.
Yes.
Which you've pulled for us a bunch of times.
Yeah. And that's a hard number to pull, especially in the first like year or so, because you don't know how long a customer will stay with you.
Right.
And I had trouble with that at the start. But if you do the research, a lot of people say just to use the number 3, like a customer will be with you for 3 years. So use that as the range of how many years a customer will be with you, and you can calculate your lifetime value based on that.
And it will tell you approximately, you know, in our case, like how many turtlenecks a customer might buy over the course of their life with the company. Like, you know, interacting and consuming as a consumer.
Right.
And I think when we've done it too, like I remember you saying to use number 3 is great because if you're a new company, you don't have that long.
Yeah, you're like, I've only been around for a year. How do you know?
Which now we have more data to look back 10 and a half years in. But like back then it was like, wait, what do we use? Like, what's the benchmark here? Anyway, so you can really look at your numbers and figure out, okay, this is how much I have to spend to get one customer to buy one turtleneck. But if I do that, look at what our lifetime value is. That customer is likely to stick around and maybe buy 3 more.
Right.
And our unit economics have always been, knock on wood.
Very good. Yeah.
Very good. And I'm assuming Outdoor Voices was back then when they were raising money too, because look at all the money they raised. I mean, venture capitalists, they were throwing money at things back then, but they were doing their due diligence, you know, I assume. Like they weren't just investing to invest. So anyway, so it's margin, it's customer acquisition costs, lifetime value. I feel like there's another number in there that we were looking up for unit economics. And what's interesting too is that these numbers are so important to look into, and not just the margin.
Course, yeah.
Yep. Not just for people raising money, but for us.
Yeah.
We reference these numbers to make sure, you know, the numbers are working, and that our sale, like our first sale, like that first sale profit, like that's what you want. Or what's the term? Like on your
first click?
No, like your first sale of a turtleneck, you want that to be profitable.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't want you want that to be profitable.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what
you don't want to spend more than you make.
Yes.
on your first on the first acquisition.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what all these numbers will tell you.
Right.
And I think nowadays, everyone's looking at that first order profitability versus back then it was like, well, you might not be profitable on that first order from that one customer, but
They'll come back and
they'll be back and
yeah.
you'll be profitable down the road. And we're willing to give you money to get you to that profitability benchmark.
Right.
And so anyway, we were watching this very closely and I think I felt at certain times, like I said, just like, oh, we're not doing that. We're not as good, or we're not as, not ambitious, but like, we just had different goals, I guess.
Right.
So
well, there's always that like grass is always greener, thought in your head. Like
so
we could be bigger. We could be, but
Yes.
bigger isn't always better.
No. And we did have a call with a woman who was an investor who said that to us.
I know. And I think
Remember
that helped you a lot. That like just hearing it from someone else.
Oh, that was almost like
That was like life-changing for you, I think.
That was really life-changing. Because there were points when I was like ready to hit the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that conversation was very pivotal. I think you're right. Because it was when things were booming and she had a lot of brands she was investing in. And when you're at that level of investment and you have 10, 20, 30 companies you're investing in and you know that not all of them are going to make it.
Right.
In fact, maybe one or two will.
I know. Yeah.
But the numbers work for them, but not for the brands that go out of business.
Right? It's
so
crazy.
I think that hearing that from her was, wow, it really shook me. I think I still think about it. Anyway, so as time was moving on with Outdoor Voices, Ty Haney then, what's interesting here, and this is speculation, we're just chatting like we're having a conversation, but she had her first child, took maternity leave, came back, and that was when all hell broke loose. And I hate to say that, like, it's just so hard.
I know.
As women.
It's so hard.
I mean, as much as her husband might have helped her, like, you have the baby.
Well, she also left the company for maternity leave, and I'm sure that like changes had been made. Like she went back, and it probably was a different feeling.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I know, which also breaks my heart and did back then too, because women should be able to take maternity leave and not come back and feel like they're getting pushed out.
Yes.
Like that. And I don't know if that's what happened.
Right.
I don't think it did.
And maybe she wasn't getting pushed out, but maybe it was just feeling different for her. And she's like, this isn't the company that I started.
And also totally. Yes. And I feel like when you have kids, like what our last podcast was about, like priorities change so much. Like your eyes get opened and anyway.
All the feels.
All the feels. So around this time, all of the investors and board of advisors pushed her to step down, like around 2020. I wonder if this was like, I wonder if COVID must have started maybe when she stepped down.
This was like during that whole like girl boss phase. Do you remember that?
Yeah, all the girl bosses were being taken down.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was not good.
No.
And I don't know how much of it was deserved or if they were targets. I honestly don't know. And I don't think anyone knows. And you can speculate. But man, does the press love to like bring people up and then tear them down.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really sad.
I know. And I cannot imagine how hard this must have been for Ty, just knowing what we know and what we've been through. Just devastating. I mean, you're like stepping down from her
first baby.
Yes, exactly. And something that she was so amazing at building. I mean, truly. So anyway, there was internal conflict, a lot of it. There were a lot of articles that came out and there were some rumors that she was not abusing her power, but I don't know. It's hard to be a boss.
Yeah. Right.
And not every boss is perfect. And I don't think men get the same.
And we've talked about this too. Like if you start a company, you put yourself out there.
Yes.
And you have to kind of take the heat a little bit.
You really do. You really do. And so there was a lot of PR around all of this. And Mickey Drexler was name dropped in all the articles and discussed. And so, I'm not sure what went on between the two of them, but I'm sure it was very difficult. And the company valuation dropped down to about 30 to 40 million within a few years after that.
Still a lot of money.
I mean, exactly. Still so much.
Right.
Like if you have a $40 million company, you are killing it.
Right.
Like kudos to her.
Yeah.
I think what needed to happen, they were conflicting too much to work it out, but they just needed to get in there and clean house and cut expenses. Apparently they were ordering these like fancy candles and water. Like, no, just, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. And when you have lots of money, that's fun and great. But like, go in, your revenue is not meeting what you set out to at this moment in time, and just cut everything.
They closed all the stores too, right?
Yes. I think, well, not yet. Not yet. But then COVID happens too.
Soon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like, that's not helping anything. And I really look back at the start of COVID and I still feel like for us and Dudley Stephens, it was so hard. I mean, from overnight, the rug is swept out from under your feet. And I'll never forget when you called me or we were texting. I don't remember when there were rumors that we really were going to shut everything down. And I was in disbelief. And you were like, no, the director of our school said it's not if, but when.
Yeah.
Like these schools are going to close.
Right.
And I didn't believe you or anybody. I was like, there's no way.
I
Like,
know. It's
these
unbelievable.
kids are like, I can't imagine kids not going to school.
Right.
Like I'd never even in all of my life thought that could be possible. So while this is all happening, the stores are open, but no one's going into them, like that's also retail, wholesale took a hit, everything. So the valuation starts going down. And I can't even imagine what they were filing, like in terms of profit and loss.
Goodness, with an evaluation like that, who knows?
Who knows? And they had obviously hired tons of people and really expanded. They probably had so much inventory, which we've struggled with throughout the years, over inventorying yourself.
Right.
Which is, we're a broken record, but that was the advice we were given, and we didn't follow it all 10 years, which I don't blame us, but never over inventory yourself. Never expand too quickly.
Yeah. Well, we didn't follow it after COVID.
We
had to protect ourselves because of the supply chain issues.
Yes. We didn't even know if we
and
were
it
getting
took us
stuff.
a while to get to bury or to, get out of that.
Yes.
That mode.
Exactly. And I think it was a very common thing in the industry.
Yeah.
So apparently they said they reached profitability in 2021, but they really have been struggling with that. And okay, their customer acquisition costs and their retail leases are really what drove the decline. And that was all based around like social media advertising all of a sudden becoming way too expensive.
Right.
So that CAC, the customer acquisition cost, skyrockets. And then all of a sudden, the money that you've invested in the company and any money you have in the bank, it's not doing what it used to do. So those numbers on paper that the investors originally invested in don't exist anymore.
Right. The ROI is not there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ROI, another good term. Return on investment was not working. And then combine that with the internal rumors and culture clash. And anyway, so she steps out. So by 2024, which, here, and when I think about where we were in 2024, now that's 2 years ago, you're in this post-COVID boom world. And I think all of these millennial darling DTC companies, it was a real awakening. And I think you and I felt some of that too on a smaller scale of like, okay, we were able to grow so quickly online. And like, so what's next? And are you profitable? And the companies that weren't profitable shut down either or changed management, totally restructure everything.
Right.
And that's where they ended up in 2024, which was totally letting go of most of their employees. I think they closed all 15 of their retail stores, and they moved to an online only model. And apparently the rumor is that they were preparing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yes, I remember that.
Which
Didn't she go back at some point too?
Yes. So Um, so, and I followed all of this like obsessively because, it wasn't even, it didn't give me satisfaction either that like we were still in business and this had all happened. In fact, it was upsetting for me because I so related to her plight, and like what she went through and like
Right.
having kids and,
Yeah. Through all of that. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
no, and like she's so young. I mean, I'm like an old lady compared to her. And I just really sympathize with all of that and she seems like a good person. And I'm sure she made decisions and all the right things that she thought, and probably some of them were and some of them weren't, but she didn't know. Anyway, so they moved to an online only model with all the stores closing and I'm sure they dropped wholesale partners and all that. And then a company swooped in called Consortium Brand Partners. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And they seem like the type of company that kind of a private equity company that swoops in and acquires companies that are about to file for bankruptcy and struggling. I don't know that for sure, but from what I've seen on their site and just witnessed with who they've acquired, they seem to be that sort of private equity that's looking for a very cheap and easy acquisition where they probably just buy the assets but not the debt. That would be my guess.
Right.
And I'm not sure what would happen with the investors then.
Yeah.
They get wiped out.
They get wiped. Yeah.
Like
maybe.
It's kind of
That's
like
a lot.
that's
They're
it.
cutting their losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so this company swoops in and acquires them. And since 2024, she has now, or maybe 2025, they brought her back on.
So she's there now.
Yes.
Trying to rebuild.
Yes.
Interesting.
I know. It's real. And she also started 2 other companies within the time that she wasn't with Outdoor Voices. One is that Get Joggy, which is like an all natural energy drink. And then Try Your Best, which is, we've looked into that before too. It's like a loyalty company.
It's like for like multiple brands.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So you sign up through TYB and you get like early access to your favorite brands drops, or you also get like points for feedback and like design ideas and stuff. I don't know. It's really interesting. And now she's like back with product and creative direction with Outdoor Voices.
I hope it does well.
Yes.
I hope it booms again.
Yeah. So it's a very fascinating. I almost want there to be like a real case study done or some sort of documentary.
I know there should be.
Right?
It would be a good Netflix series.
Right. Actually, I have a friend at Netflix.
I know, right?
Someone should
especially with like the fallout and like that's like good drama there.
It's so good. It's such good drama. So anyway, I think that there should be something made about this because it really is so interesting. And it was so of the moment of that time, And now I don't know what's next for all these, like, that was a boom, And now, well, I guess the next boom is the AI stuff.
Yes. The AI stuff, which is a whole other story. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. And there is that, the peak buzz moment of brands and what happens after that.
What happens, right? I don't know, but I do think that we've talked about this a lot. Like, I do think there's something to like growing slowly and staying true to yourself. Like, I think that's what Ralph Lauren does. And that's what a lot of these brands that have been around for a while.
Yep. And it's just so different now too, because in the 80s, 90s, like wholesale was everything. And now Saks is filing for bankruptcy, for example.
Yeah.
So there aren't those large retailers that are writing hefty checks for a buy.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just changed a lot. There's so many things. So much competition.
True.
Just everywhere. So we're back to full circle, our family founded brand. And, thankful that we've taken that path, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we've just decided bigger isn't always better.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not. And it's, I don't know. I think it's just funny, like thinking about following these companies, and there's others too. I could do a whole other episode on other brands too, and just understanding their journey, really.
Yeah. Well, there's, I mean, like Glossier
Right.
away luggage. What are the
Yeah.
other ones that were like all?
Um,
I don't know.
no,
There was a
those
lot
are
during that time.
those are top two that would come to mind
Yeah.
also.
Mhm.
And as fellow female founders, I
Mhm.
just relate so much to what those ladies went through, must have gone through, what was
Mhm.
going on the other side of everything. I mean, it's personal, it's upsetting, it's
Mhm.
really tough, and I give them all a ton of credit. And I'm so happy that Ty Haney is back there. I feel like
Me too.
it's might give her
Go Ty.
I know, like another chance to rebuild her first baby.
Yeah.
And get credit for it,
Right.
She deserves that, even though things were tough. Like, it's still an incredible brand, and there's a lot of potential, I think.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah. All right.
So, get doing things,
Get
Ty.
yeah. We're watching
We're
and
watching.
following and very inspired.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all
I
we
think
had for
that's
today.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
So
a long one.
Maybe this could be a little sub series if we like this, or we can have high
We can
listenership.
dive into another one next time.
Yeah.
Glossier.
Yeah, I know. Didn't you know her too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Khaki with
away.
all the oh my gosh. All the connections here.
Well, I don't know them personally, but
Yeah, but connected in a way.
connected in some
Capacity.
fashion. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Shop our Jet Setters drop.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bring the warm weather and
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
I'm manifesting it with my short sleeve today.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Thanks, everyone.